pay relating to the payment of izinduna, as I have already indicated. 631.1 million rands. Of course, this amount will be allocated to Vote 11, which is COGTA, and these funds have been long awaited with outstanding litigation and referral to the public protector, and we are therefore extremely pleased that the matter has now been resolved. COGTA will ensure that there are proper internal controls before these funds are disbursed. With regards to funding for specific provincial priorities, honorable members, given the financial constraints, only a few departments are set to receive additional funding over the MTF period, apart from the funds allocated to the province by National Treasury. The allocations are as followed. Vote 1, Office of the Premier, will receive an amount of 100 million rands once off on a premier in 2023-2024 financial year for the KZN Youth Empowerment Fund, following the extensive responses received. And the province is now ready to effectively disburse these funds, hence the allocation in this financial year. We are therefore proud to say that this is one of our interventions, Bantu Abasha, in decisively responding to job creation, developing young entrepreneurs, and alleviating poverty. For Vote 2, Provincial Treasury, Provincial Legislature, Honorable Speaker, we are allocating an additional amount of 100 million rands per annum towards increasing funding for all political parties, as the province is one of the lowest. We have been the lowest funded in this regard in the country. We have been the 7th out of the 9 provinces. And these funds will mainly be used to increase the constituency allowance, as this is the area where political parties are experiencing the greatest pressure. We also undertake to allocate a further 15 million rands to this vote in year with regards to the voter education activities required in the lead up to the 2024 general elections. With regards to Vote 9, Community Safety and Liaison, that department will receive an amount of 11.6 million rands, which is also a once-off allocation in 2023-2024 financial year for the establishment of Community Safety Intervention Unit. I have already alluded to what is obtaining in this province with regards to contingency reserves. Regarding the conditional grants, a number of our government programs are funded by conditional grants, which are allocated to us in line with the DORA. KwaZulu-Natal's conditional grant allocation increases by 1.6 billion, 269.4 million, and 101.4 billion rands over the MTF period. Most of the conditional grants received an inflationary increase, while others received larger increases. Only the larger increases are elaborated in this presentation. With regards to education infrastructure grant, we are receiving an increase of 379 million rands, and this grant is incentive based, and the increase is partly due to incentive allocation, where the department scored 80% in terms of submitting planning documents and showing capacity to spend, and thus received an incentive allocation of 109 million rands. Angabikho ke ozothi ama-departments ahluleka ukuplana. Siplana size sithole le grant, incentive allocation. So we congratulate the Department of Education. The increase also relates to the carry-through costs associated with the repairs and rehabilitation of schools damaged by the April 2022 floods, and 269.3 million in allocated is allocated in this regard. This grant has a budget of 2.9 billion rands after these increases. The National School Nutrition Program grant also received an increase of 120.9 million rands. Ukudla kwabantwana benu bazali lapha emakhaya. 120.9 million rands in 2023-2024 financial year, 112.6 million rands for the following year, and 226.6 million rands in 2025-2026. In order for this government to continue with the provision of nutritious meals, the budget for 2023-2024 after the increase is 2.1 billion rands. Again, another grant, the Early Childhood Development Grant, increases by 14.8 million rands, 45.5 million and 101 million rands over the MTF, and this provides for top up to the subsidy amount, increasing access to the ECD subsidy, pre-registration support packages, and nutrition support, and the results-based finance initiative. This grant increases to 197 million rands in 2023-2024 financial year. The health facility revitalization grant is increased by 78.2 million rands. The health facility revitalization grant the addition is increased by 78.2 million rands. The health is incentive based, and because the department scored 94% in terms of submitting planning documentation and showing capacity to spend. With this increase, the budget for this grant is 1.5 billion rands. With regards to provincial roads maintenance grant, we see a significant increase of 760.1 million rands in 2023-2024 financial year. Of this, 185 million rands relates to funds for the carry-through costs associated with repairs of provincial roads that were damaged by the April floods. This is in addition to the 589.3 million rands allocated to this grant in the 2022-2023 adjustments estimates period for further flood damages. The balance of 575.1 million relates to additional funds allocated to address the backlog in the refurbishment of provincial roads. The budget for this grant is 3.4 billion rands after this increase, and shows our decisive commitment to improving our provincial road network, including bridges, providing access for communities and learners, particularly in rural communities and townships. With regards to the Comprehensive Agricultural Support Program grant, we see an increase of 163.4 million rands over the MTF period. The Department of Agriculture and Rural Development had applied for funding through the budget facility for infrastructure process facilitated by National Treasury, and this explains the bulk of the additional funds received. The department was successful in securing these funds for the construction of agri-hubs in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, with an amount of 8.4 million rands, 86.4 million and 58.2 million rands allocated to this project over the MTF period. This CASP grant budget is 230.6 million rands in 2023-2024 financial year. In aggregate, the province receives 195.5 million to create 7,470 job opportunities through EPWP conditional grants. The detail is provided as follows. The EPWP grant for provinces, as I have already mentioned, the province receives 107.6 million, slightly lower than the previous one, than the previous amount received in the current year. And this will be used to create 4,199 job opportunities. The budget is allocated as follows: for DART, 4.6 million, ETIA, 6.9 million, education, 2 million rands, health receives 8.6 million, human settlements, 7.7 million, COCTA, arts and culture, 2.1, COCTA receives 2 million, transport receives 69.9 million rands, and public works receives 3.9 million. The social sector EPWP incentive grant for provinces receives 87.9 million, also lower than the 99.8 million received in the current year. The department's plan to create 3,671 job opportunities through this allocation, the social sector EPWP, education, 31.8 million, health, 21.1, community safety and liaison, 3.8, sports, arts and culture, 2.3 million, and social development receives 28.8 million. With regards to infrastructure delivery in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we wish to indicate that the total infrastructure budget over the MTF period is 19.5 billion rands, 18.1 billion rands, and 18.8 billion rands. A detailed list of all infrastructure projects that will be implemented is contained in the estimates of capital expenditure, which we have already tabled. The section below is detailing some of the projects that the provincial government will be implementing over the MTF period. However, the individual departmental votes will be in detail in all other projects that will be operationalized over this period. Of course, with regards to the Department of Transport, this department will spend 26.3 billion rands over the next 3 years. The main projects planned over this period are as follows: the Umdloti River Vehicle Bridge Project, rehabilitation of main road P334 of 2, upgrade of main road P123 Equmeni, upgrade of main road P714, phase 2 Elembe district, construction of Mvubukazi pedestrian river bridge, Msunduzi, construction of Mhlalane pedestrian river bridge over the Mhlalane bridge eMshwati local municipality. Umphathiswa-ke ophathelene nalomnyango uyokwenaba mase kufike isikhathi sokwenaba. Kanjalo futhi umphathiswa umnyango wezempilo uyokwenaba asitshele ukuthi imaphi ama-clinics azokwakhiwa nezibhedlela eziyokwazi ukuthi zi-maintainwe, zi-rehabilitate uma esethula esakhe isabelo. Kodwa nje ngiyafuna ukusho ukuthi bantu basemsinga endaweni yaseCwaka ikhona iklinikhi entsha enizoyithola. Kanjalo futhi i-Newtown Community Health Center eNanda iyozonwetshwa impela ikwazi ukugculisa wonke umphakathi waseNanda. Kuningi-ke angifuni ukuthi ngenabe abahlonishwa besazoyibekela bona. Kanjalo umnyango wezemfundo uzothola isabelo esu-9.8 billion rands over the next 3 years. The department provides new and replacement schools in order to improve access to education within communities. Furthermore, the department is continuing with the implementation of priority programs, including the installation of boreholes in 277 schools and the repair and rehabilitation of various flood and storm damaged schools. The following are some of the planned infrastructure projects: Collingwood Primary School, Emlazi, Maritime School of Excellence is a new focus school being built Emlazi. Meadow Sweet Combined School is a replacement school being built in Otugela. Putini Secondary School in the Otugela district will be upgraded. Musa School is a new school for learners with special educational needs, and this school is being built in Zululand. With regards to the Department of Human Settlements, This department will spend 11 billion rands over the next 3 years on various infrastructure development projects. The department plans to implement various projects, like, for instance, the upgrading of informal settlements projects, which is a national and provincial priority, and projects in this regard are currently at various stages of delivery cycle. In 2023-2024 financial year, the department is allocating 790.2 million rands in respect of the informal settlements upgrading partnership. Nina basemadundube, nani baseGroundville, Etete, Nyathikazi, Lamontville, Ntuzuma, Johnstown, Blowbush, nazo zonke ezinye indawo nizokwazi ukuthi nihlomule kulesi sabelo salomnyango wokuhlaliswa kwabantu. When it comes to the overview per vote for the 2023-2024 financial year, the table below shows the 2023-2024 budget per department. The province has allocated 76% of its budget to education and health departments. I want to repeat this: 76% of its budget to those two social sector departments. Ngisho nabasebenzi ke engizwe kuthiwa bayeza lapha namhlanje, ngiyafisa ukuthi sigcizelele lokhu. Iningi ibudget eya kulama social sector departments, okuyi-department yakwa-education ne-health. Of course, asikwazi ukuthi sanelise wonke umuntu ngesikhathi esifanayo, kodwa kuyakhombisa ukuthi uhulumeni uyazama ngakho konke okusemandleni ukuthi agculise lapho abantu bakwaZulu Natal lapho engabagculisa khona. Approximately 62% of the provincial budget goes towards paying the public servants in this province. Honorable members, 62% of the provincial budget goes towards paying the public servants in this province. With this relatively high percentage influenced strongly by the number of educators and healthcare workers employed. Around 10% of this total budget is allocated towards transfers, with a large portion of this relating to transfers to public entities that receive 5.4 billion rands during this current financial year. We plan to spend around 7% of our budget on capital-related expenditure, leaving a balance of nearly 22% to purchase goods and services required to implement our service delivery programs. The departments are discussed in order of the size of their budget. Perhaps let me go through these figures. With regards to Vote 1, Office of the Premier, for this current financial year, you will be receiving an amount of 872.057 million rands, Honorable Premier. Provincial Legislature, Vote 2, will receive 748.037, Honorable Speaker, million rands. Vote 3, Agriculture and Rural Development, 2.515 billion rands, Honorable Zuma. Economic Development, Tourism and Environment Affairs, 3,406,530,000 rands. Education will receive 60,637,286,000 rands. Provincial Treasury, 678,910,000 rands. Health, 50,687,512,000 rands. Human Settlements, 4,342,997,000 rands. Community Safety and Liaison, 250,608 rands. Sport, Arts and Culture, 1,492,804,000 rands. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, billion 443 million and 13,000 rands. Transport 12 billion 966 million and 847,000. Social development 3 billion 260 million and 255,000 rands. And public works 1 billion 738 million and 955,000 rands, which totals to 146 billion and 40 million and 964,000 rands. Ngibonga ukuthi angididekanga ngey'namba. As Chair Guevara asserted, I quote, "The walls of educational system must come down. Education should not be a privilege, so the children of those with money can study," close quotes. With regards to this allocated budget, we wish the Department of Education well during this current financial year. And we are proud of the 2022 matric results that were released early this year, and the province whereby the province attained a pass rate of 83%, which is an increase from 76.6% attained in 2021. It justifies our allocation to the Department of Education, which is the highest in the budget allocation we are presenting today. Again, the budget for education is 60.6 billion rands, which is 41.5% and the largest share of the provincial budget. And budget reprioritization was undertaken to ensure that there are ongoing improvements in this regard, such as improving the quality of grade R programs with a focus on literacy and numeracy, especially reading, as well as teacher development and improving schools' infrastructure. It is pleasing to note that the 2023 distribution of learner-teacher support materials was undertaken in preparation for this current academic year, with 100% of stationery and 99.3% of textbooks procured. We are justifying the allocation of this budget, honorable members. Again, the National Schools Nutrition Program is receiving the allocation that we have already alluded to. The Department of Health is receiving 34.7%. With a budget of 50.7 billion rands. That is the Department of Health. And this department will continue to render primary health care and district hospital services and other services. The department plans to increase the average number of daily operational ambulances from 179 to 200 by 31 March 2024. So, as I have already indicated, I won't delve much on how the government departments will be utilizing their allocated budget, honorable members. So all departments will continue providing services, your social development, agriculture and rural development, cooperative governance and traditional affairs. We are referring to what they told us, what the allocated amounts will be, how the allocated amounts will be utilized. Public Works has received a total amount of 1.7 billion rands, as I have already indicated, and I won't repeat, honorable members, all what is reflected there, except to say that a provincial treasury will continue to support all government departments and public entities in order to enhance their financial management, including municipalities, honorable members. The focus will also be on staff development and training programs to develop and retain the requisite financial development and training programs to develop and retain, in order for all of us to obtain clean audits from the Auditor General. The Provincial Audit Improvement Plan will be a key focus area, and in this regard, the Provincial Internal Audit Unit will be capacitated with permanent resources, shifting from reliance on consultants. Risk-based audits with specific focus on good governance will be performed. IT audit reviews, financial audits, as well as transversal reviews of SCM will be undertaken. Compliance by departments, vulnerable groups, integrated strategies, among others. The department will continue in its endeavors to implement the hybrid internal audit model, with the Department of Health taking over the function from the 1st of October 2022. Department of Health, October 2022, while the Department of Transport and the Department of Education require further time due to constrained resources. Compliance with all SCM prescripts in provincial departments, municipalities, and public entities will continue to be monitored given the change in the preferential procurement regulations and resulting policy shifts and amendments. Once contracted service providers have delivered against their contract or orders, we will ensure they are paid on time. And in this regard, support will be provided to suppliers to resolve payment disputes with organs of state through Operation Pay on Time. SOMLOM, our budget vote, regarding our budget vote, will expand on the rollout of Pay on Time program, the oversight model of monitoring the spending and revenue collection of departments and public entities against budget will continue in 2023-2024 financial year. And the oversight model aims to highlight red flags proactively in order for remedial actions to be taken, resulting in provincial spending remaining within the provincial budgets. The department will continue to support municipalities and provide technical support to delegated municipalities in order to promote sound financial management and sustainability, with specific focus on assisting municipalities to produce credible information to stakeholders, which will allow for effective decision making. Sike sabizwa ku-National Assembly kuthiwa sizo-accounta ngabanye omasipala abangenzi kahle somlomo, siyi-department akwa-treasury no-cocta. Ngakho-ke sizowamonitharisha labo masipala ukuze bagcine benza kahle. With regards to interventions, technological advancement and telecommunications, in the budget speech, which was presented by Honorable Minister of Finance Enoch Godongwana, he actually reiterated that as at the end of December 2022, Eskom was owed 56.3 billion rands by municipalities. He proceeded to state that as government, we are working with Eskom to provide a solution to this problem, wherein Eskom will provide incentivized and conditional relief to struggling municipalities. In KZN alone, 2.7 billion rands is owed to Eskom, of which 850 million rands is currently overdue. Likewise, as the provincial government, we must join in the crusade to work with our municipalities in resolving these challenges. Honorable MECs are also deployed as champions in various municipalities. So please try to resolve such challenges. Supporting municipal financial sustainability. The delivery of services by municipalities is central to a better life for all our people, and payment for services, therefore, is key and central to the attainment of this commitment. As at the 31st of January 2023, 35.9 billion rands was owed by consumers, including government departments, to municipalities, with an amount of 29.7 billion rands being over 90 days overdue. This reflects on the data integrity and the capacity of municipalities to collect monies owed to them. Here too, Madam Speaker, we will provide support that will turn the situation around, including declaring war on unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, which is, according to the 2021-2022 municipal audit results, is sitting at 23.9 billion rands. As governments, working with the spirit of the district development model, we will resolve the aforementioned issues with a view of ensuring municipal financial sustainability and improved service delivery. With regards to infrastructure delivery management system, given the fiscal constraints and global local economic outlook, we have to tighten our belts as we require to do more with less. We will strengthen our monitoring and evaluation and reporting of provincial departments, entities, and municipalities' budgets through respective oversight structures and support our institutions in our implementation of service delivery through effective use of technological solutions such as IDMS. In this regard, we wish to state that the IDMS, which is a government management system for planning, budgeting, procurement, delivery, maintenance, operation, monitoring, and evaluation of infrastructure, comprises of a set of interrelated or interacting elements that establish processes which transform inputs into outputs. However, there is still a need to strengthen the capacity of departments, particularly in the monitoring of infrastructure investment at a local municipality level, in order to avoid the return of any appropriated funds due to underspending, given the dire impact this would have on communities' access to decent services. And given the catalytic role that infrastructure plays in both economic growth and closing the inequality gap through provision of opportunities for remote communities, all efforts should be directed to ensuring not only value for money in terms of delivery of infrastructure, but a coordinated approach across all spheres of government through the district delivery model, further crowding in private investment critical for job creation. Of course, as the province enhances its efforts to manage its finances, strategic sourcing, and audit across the departments, it is evident that the lack of modern enterprise resource planning system is hindering such progress. Whilst we acknowledge the efforts by National Treasury over the past 16 years in the procurement of an integrated finance management system, this has not been realized and has resulted in various departments engaging the National Treasury to obtain a deviation to implement their own solutions. We will be engaging National Treasury as a province to explore options that will enhance our ability to work smarter through the use of technological solutions, whilst enhancing controls, which will significantly reduce manual manipulation and corrupt practices. With regards to intergovernmental connectivity, the recently awarded spectrum licenses by ICASA has prompted us as Provincial Treasury to review our provincial expenditure on ICT. The social obligation stated as conditions of compliance brings about positive spin-offs on cost savings and business improvement process for the benefit of our provincial administration and the citizens at large. Our preliminary findings inform us that cost savings of approximately R500 million on our fiscus is not a pipe dream, but a reality. We are working on further processes on validating our preliminary findings. Bridging the digital divide through collaboration with captains of industry and other stakeholders of strategic nature will enable the improvement of our citizens' lives and improvement of service delivery mechanisms. The review of cost savings will enable a wide range of effective citizens' identity management, SMME active participation in advancing the development state agenda, just to name but a few spin-offs of this approach. The much vaunted 4IR will be a reality in the province of KwaZulu-Natal as we collaborate on our intergovernmental relations for effective governance and identifying value for money. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, as much as we are facing uncertainty, we remain optimistic that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. The Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan is our tool in restoring the hope of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The plan aims to stimulate equitable and inclusive growth. It encompasses some of the urgent interventions, such as resolving the energy crisis, aggressive infrastructure investment, mass employment, and green economy interventions. As we decisively move towards the realization of a dream of mass job creation and to eliminate poverty, we are pinning our hopes on this plan and many other strategic interventions that aim to improve the living conditions of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. This presentation is a reflection of what we anticipate to achieve in our province while striving to accelerate service delivery to our communities during this and to bring hope in advancing our people's interests. SONA and SOPA address the pressing issues. I want to repeat that we also appreciate the allocation of 10 million rands that has been set aside to support the cannabis industry. And this is a milestone worthy to be celebrated. Uhlelo lwe-social compact somlomo lusinika ithemba lokuvuselela ukubaluleka kokubambisana phakathi kukahulumeni nabosomabhizinisi, abahlali kanye nabasebenzi ukuze sakhe isifundazwe esingcono esinamathuba amaningi ukuthuthukisa isizwe sethu. I believe that our collective efforts, both the public and private sector, are crucial for the effective implementation of ERRP. Honorable Speaker, let me express my greatest appreciation for the support that one always enjoys from the leadership and membership of the African National Congress, Dlangamandla. Madam Speaker, please allow us to also express our sincerest words of gratitude to our Honorable Premier, Premier Nomusa Dube-Ncube, my colleagues in the Executive Council. Thank you very much for your support. We also wish to express our sincerest words of gratitude to the members of the provincial legislature. In particular, the chairperson and members of the Finance Portfolio Committee, Honorable KK Nkosi, as well as the support we receive from SCOPA and all other portfolio committees. We thank the heads of department, starting with Ms. Carol Kuti, who is the head of department for Treasury, including the DG of the province and all other heads of departments and managers and employees of the province of KwaZulu-Natal government. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the Minister of Finance, Honorable Godongwana, and National Treasury officials for their guidance and technical support. My gratitude also goes to the Ministers' Committee on Budget for the sound advice in preparing for this budget. Let me also express my appreciation to the Provincial Audit and Risk Committee, Bid Appeals Tribunal, the Auditor General, boards of various entities, and other social partners. We'd also like to thank the team from Treasury, as I've already mentioned, Ms. Carol Kuti as the head of department, and also all other managers and employees of government. Lastly, it would be remiss of me not to thank the most important people in my life, my family. umajili, umama wami, nodadewabo, omunye umajili, anti wami, abantwana bami baningi ke bona. Khona oPinki, khona oSithabile, khona oSithembile, khona oSteve, baningi, khona oNonzwakazi, baningi kakhulu. Ngeke nginiqede bantabami, kodwa ngiyanibonga ngesupport. Kakhulukazi-ke abazukulu, hawu kuphela lonke usizi uma sengigone abazukulu. Ngiyababonga kakhulu. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. Thank you. Ay, ngiyangiphathela lokhu ba?
Thank you, Honorable MC. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable MEC Nkonyeni. Thank you, Honorable MEC Nkonyeni. Thank you, Honorable MEC. Thank you, Honorable MEC Nkonyeni, the MEC responsible for the Provincial Treasury, for the presentation of the provincial budget. I can see that members can't wait to go and plan for the 100 million. I can see Honorable Shabisa and Honorable Rogers and Honorable Numalo are already planning for the 100 million that is coming to them as parties. Honorable members.
Oh, yes.
We have come to the end of the city. Khona into bebethi ayayizama u-Honorable Gwala no-Honorable Nxumalo ngiyabona behlule. Honorable members, we have come to the end of the sitting where we were making a brief consultation with the party whips, seeing that uMabedla was too generous, including with the time today. Now, was too generous, including with the time. You'd remember that the reason that we said to you, you would go to lunch and come back to the briefing was because of the time. The generosity of the MEC being noted, we are now going to, when we adjourn the House, we will immediately after adjournment go directly to the briefing so that we don't keep members for long. When they have party work to do, it's a weekend and it's 2023. You need to go back and renew your mandate in 2024. With that said, thank you to all of you, honorable members, those in the House more especially, and also those connected virtually. We appreciate that you were here. To the guests of the MEC that were with us from the gallery, from the academia, from the Mangosuthu University of Technology, and from all other walks of life. And importantly, the Provincial Secretary of the Governing Party of KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. B.M. Dolo, and all other party leaders. Oh, I am going to do that. And all other party leaders, we appreciate, we will continue to appreciate party whips when you have guests that are your leaders of parties that are party to this House to alert us. So far, it has been consistently been the African National Congress and the National Freedom Party that would alert us when they have their leadership. We will acknowledge them. Thank you to all of you for being with us. Now that the budget has been tabled, we are going to refer it to the Portfolio Committee on Finance and all other portfolios that are responsible for processing, including the Standing Committee on Oversight to deal with the individual votes, the respective votes that are allocated to those portfolio committees. When we go to lunch, we'll have to come back and have a briefing to all of us. Honorable members, guests, thank you. The House is adjourned sine die.